something juicy on the internet, people love to jump to conclusions about what they think the truth is, and honestly, I'm sick of it. So today, I brought in an expert, a human lie detector that's gonna help me break down some of these videos we've been seeing online. Please welcome Annie Sarnblad. In person, too. We love this.
Thank you.
This is so exciting.
I'm excited
You're a human.
too.
Should we touch fingers?
Oh my God. Oh, it's amazing.
This is incredible. So, I called you a human lie detector.
Yep.
What do you call yourself? What do you do?
I call myself a micro-expressions specialist, but I do often call myself a human lie detector.
Okay, what is a micro-expression? Is that just like a twitch on a face? Like, what's the deal?
So that's the thing. So we all have universal facial expressions that we all make, even if we're born blind. As humans, they're as natural to our species as erections.
Wait, hold on, wait. I have so many questions. So you're saying regardless of where someone's born in
Right.
the world,
Exactly.
we have universal ones?
Universal facial, it's our original language as a human species.
Okay, wait, so what you're saying then, this is scientific.
This is
not
scientific. I
opinion.
actually work for the Museum of Science in Boston. Yeah, I do. It's all
Okay, because
scientific.
you know on the internet, a bunch of skeptics are gonna say this is just opinion,
This is
it's not opinion.
No, in fact, all of our emotions have physical responses in our bodies and on our faces, and that's why I'm joking about the erections, right? But a man gets an erection when he feels arousal, right? Not when he's feeling sad. And if he does, then he needs to go see somebody else. That's above my pay grade.
How long have you been reading micro-expressions?
So I had a difficult family life when I was little, and kids up until about the age of 2 can do this naturally. If you're holding a baby, you'll notice that they start looking, they read your entire face, and we train our children out of it. We say, look me in the eyes when you're talking to me. So in my family, there was some abuse, there was some alcoholism. I wasn't trained out of it because it became an issue of emotional and physical survival for me. I have an aunt who's a psychotherapist, and she talked about facial expressions when I was little, and it became this full-on obsession for me.
I'm so excited. Okay, of course, we have to analyze the recent Oprah interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. A lot of people have had opinions about this, about what they think is true.
A lot of opinions,
So I want to ask you, the expert. I specifically want to ask you, our first clip is about Meghan denying that she did any research about the royal family or Prince Harry. Let's take a look.
But you were certainly aware of the royals.
Of course.
And if you're going to...
So she just showed resignation. Hold on.
Already?
There it is, okay? So it's resignation. She's double dimpling. She's doing this.
What is that? What is that?
That means like, really, I have to do this again?
Huh.
Right? So you've got
Okay.
the eyes
So
as
she's
well.
she's unhappy about this.
She's unhappy
Okay.
about this.
And if you're going to marry a royal, then you would do research about what that would mean.
Well, I didn't do any research.
Okay, I didn't do any research, right? So whenever I work on lie detection, I look that the gestures and the body language matches the words, right? And we look at the same thing with the microexpressions. The microexpressions have to match the word. When there's a disconnect, like if somebody's saying, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, that's a problem, because in Western society, in the US and Canada, in much of Western Europe, this means yes, and this means no. So if you're saying, did you have any cookies? I did not have a cookie.
That's a disconnect.
Right.
So what you're saying is that she's telling the truth here.
She's telling the truth.
She did not do research.
She didn't. And her gestures are spot on. Her answers are quick. It takes us longer to lie. I mean, if we get a difficult question, it makes sense to pause and think about how we're going to answer that. And you saw that, like, disgust. I'm irritated that they're asking her these questions because throughout really the whole interview, she's truthful.
So we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title.
So here, she's pausing, but you see a lot of the puckering of her chin. All right, so think about it, like squeeze your butt, right?
Yeah.
You know how your butt looks when you squeeze it?
I do.
Yeah, you do,
I look
right?
in the mirror all the
right,
time.
and it gets all puckered?
Yep.
Well, so that's the same thing we do with our chin.
Huh.
So when we show any kind of vulnerability, we
It's also
pucker
like a
our chin.
precursor to crying sometimes too, right?
That's exactly right. And that's why we incorrectly think that a frown is this, and that we're pulling, whenever somebody draws the frown, it's like an upside down smile. That's not really true. The lip corners don't move. But what happens is when we pucker our chin, our middle lip, the middle part of our lip moves up, and that gives the illusion that the corners are pulling down.
Got it.
So she does this throughout the entire interview. She goes,
and what that just means
distress.
distress.
She's traumatized.
And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born?
Shock,
Genuine shock.
genuine shock, yes.
Who is having that conversation with you?
So she just swallowed. We only swallow when we get really vulnerable.
So she's genuinely sad here.
She's traumatized, yes.
Traumatized, and
Extremely sad.
I want to take a look at a clip of Prince Harry this time where he talks about the current relationship status he has with his father.
Oh boy.
There's a lot to work through there. You know, I feel really let down.
Okay, showing disgust. Okay, the full facial expression of disgust or something you don't like is this facial expression. And it's again, if somebody gives you food that you don't want, it actually shuts off our sense of smell. So if you smell your coffee in the morning and you make a full facial expression of disgust, it protects us from something toxic.
Really?
Really. But the micro expression is just this.
Subtle, very, very subtle.
Very subtle, right? And people do it all the time. And you have to look right next to the nostrils, and it's right here, in this line right there. He's deepening it.
Wow. So he's disgusted.
He's disgusted.
Wow. Okay, can we switch gears for a second? As I've been talking to you, what have you gathered about me? Be honest, please be honest.
Okay, so when you walked in, you were a little nervous, right?
Yeah.
Because there's new people in the room and you're not into the groove.
How did you know I was nervous?
Well, 'cause your posture was a little bit stiff.
Okay.
And you raised your nasolabial furrow, which, right? When you wriggled your nose a little bit, right? And now you've got it like exactly. Now you're starting to cover and protect. And then as we got into the interview and you started getting excited, you started opening up your frame. You pulled up your leg, which I am so, like my knee keeps popping up because we get each other, right? And because we're aligned, we tend to mirror each other's body language. So my knee keeps trying to like mirror your body language and I can't because
That
then
means
you'll
we're
see it in my
aligned.
dress. So my knee keeps popping up and then down again. So that's one of the things you're gonna look for in dating is how quickly does the other person mirror your body language? And can you get them to mirror it?
You are incredible. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming on the show, Annie. Will you be our show's truth teller moving forward?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anytime there's a controversy, we're coming to you.
Anytime. And I wanna hear all about the dates.
Okay, I'll let you. As soon as
Call me
those
first.
happen, I will call you.
They're gonna happen, baby. They're gonna
Are you a
happen.
fortune teller as well?
No, I can just tell you're hot.
She doesn't lie, oh, she doesn't lie. What does this body language say? Yeah, she's a freak.
It says open for business, baby.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this clip. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more just like it. If you don't, none of us can leave set.